give us just a little bit of a background about you guys and about MyIRE. So let's start with you, Mark Graves, CEO. What is your background? Where are you from? Where did you go to school? And how the hell are you doing a startup?
Good question. Good questions. So from Evansville, Indiana. Moved here probably 15 years ago. Went to college and med school at Northwestern, and then dropped out to retrain in computer science and build some software to help solve a problem I saw. So,
You dropped out of your undergrad at Northwestern?
no, dropped out of medical school.
What year?
I have no idea.
I mean, M1, M2, M3?
M2.
M2. So you were halfway through med school, and you dropped out of Northwestern Feinberg, right? Arguably one of the top medical schools in the country, maybe world. Mm-hmm. And you dropped out.
Yep.
Retrained as a computer scientist, have launched a company startup.
Yeah.
And why did you drop out
Bravo.
and retrain as a computer scientist?
Because I saw a problem that needed to be solved.
Hey, who the fuck's running this podcast?
You're doing the skipping. It was an important component.
Wait, hold on. I think, I'm going to fire myself as podcast host right now because you're doing better. No. Schindler, you're actually doing better than me, I must say. I like how you're so natural and just like, so tell us, why did you, that was good. No, hey, keep it coming, baby.
You got it.
I like it. That's a great question. Could you answer it again, please?
Yeah, I dropped out because I saw a problem I needed to solve. And
Yeah, what was that problem that you saw?
It's too expensive and difficult and time consuming for smart people, doctors and researchers to actually start up doing a research project and manage it and work with other people. And when they do, and they use all these 20 or 50 different things that they have to use, it's effectively impossible for them to do that again.
Recreate that long research project successfully again.
Yeah.
Got it. So they'll do like some sort of drug. I think the example I've heard before is like smoking cessation. You want to get people to quit smoking. You want to run, is this nicotine patch going to work? You run a study to check if it's going to work. Mm-hmm. And you're like, oh, it works. Great. Let's sell billions of these. And then someone comes to redo that study. And the result they get is, actually, no, it doesn't work. And you're like, why the hell are we selling all these patches?
Yeah, I mean, probably the grossest example of what we're trying to work on is, a couple of years ago, Amgen got together with a whole bunch of other pharma companies and said, hey, look, we've got 50 top drugs that we're selling to people who have cancer. And this is what they're taking to treat their cancer. And of those 50 drugs that they're selling for a lot of money per, dose, about 90% of the time, those drugs. So they got back together and tried to reproduce all of that and see if that would actually if they could get the same result, right? So they said it did one thing. They're treating people with it. And then they tried to go back and do it again. And when they do that, effectively 90% of the time, they can't get the same thing. And that's with pure...
And so in some sense, a lot of the cancer drugs they were trying to help patients with may not be as effective as they once did.
No, not effective. They don't work. They don't get the same thing. They tried their hardest and spent unlimited money and financial resources and legal resources working with each other and couldn't actually get the same thing again. Wow. Right? So it was a collaborative. Right.
Yeah.
So
very scary for cancer patients, for the world.
Yeah, I mean, I think they tried to repeat 55. I think they tried to repeat 55 studies and they were only able to repeat 6. I think. So that's very scary,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I've known Mark for a while, listeners. He's a dear friend of mine from probably 6 years ago. I think we met in 2012 when I was leaving JP Morgan and you were leaving Feinberg. And so we really connected on that huge step we were both adventurously taking. But I like to think of it as like this. Mark, when I met him, told me, hey, when I was 10 or 12 years old, my dad, who's a doctor, used to do a lot of research in his doctor's office. And me as a 12-year-old kid or whatever would go in there and like just help dad do his research. So it's funny, this millennial growing up in the Wikipedia, social media, Facebook age was watching dad do research with an abacus And he's like, WTF? When you got to Northwestern, you're like, oh, I'm sure they have all the tools here. Mark walks into Northwestern at 22 or whatever. He's like, what the hell is this? Everyone's still using an abacus, and it's 2000 and whatever, 18. And so you're like, I'm going to fix this. Dun, 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 dun. And so that's kind of, taking the world of health research or clinical research or, research papers, is it clinical research? Is that the best?
Yeah, scientific research. It's not just
research.
I mean, it's not just medical. It's the other stuff too. That's the thing.
It's taking scientific research and applying a lot of the Wikipedia, Facebook world to the scientific research world.
People started to use electronics, right? You have tools to do all this stuff, but how do you put those tools together into something functional that you can actually use to ask a question, get an answer back, and then do that same thing over
accurately?
Right, exactly.
Mark Schindel.
Yes.
What the hell are you doing here?
Yeah, I don't know. Where am I actually? Yeah, I just woke up. No, I'm Mark's CFO, and as you know, I met him through you, Amar.
What?
Yeah,
I proudly introduced these men. It took a year for Graves to finally agree to what I was trying to tell him, which is like, you need Schindel.
Yeah, so I met him now. It's I think it'll be 2 years in February that you introduced us. I know, isn't that crazy?
Is that right?
Yeah, time flies. Yeah, over sushi in
I remember that.
Yeah, it's really good. And I mean, my background is in private equity. I grew up in Aurora, so I'm a local guy. I went to Illinois for undergrad and Kellogg for grad school. And I was in the private equity business for a long time and stopped doing that and was investing for myself. And then I started taking some sort of consulting assignments from time to time and was working as a CFO for a couple guys in a group of businesses, which is how I met you.
Yes.
Because all those businesses were severely undercapitalized, and you were coming in to potentially help fix one, solve a problem.
Right.
Yeah. And so you and I hit it off, and you were like, "Hey, I want to introduce you to this guy. I think I'd be interested. Hear what you think." And so I met Mark, and as I always say, in my background in private equity, I'm very used to just asking a ton of questions, looking for a flaw in logic, or ask a question that he hadn't thought of, or ask a question that I get a bad answer to. But here was at the time this 29-year-old kid who I was asking all these questions, and he was coming back with such mature, articulate, well thought out responses, and I'm like, man, this guy is really exceptional.
Graves.
Yeah.
We totally fucking got him.
Right, exactly, man. Yeah, that's right. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Yeah, so
I remember that. I introduced you guys, and you kind of just went on the attack of like, let me just see if there's anything here.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to waste my time.
Right.
I remember Mark Graves. Yeah, just the way you guys just heard him articulate, explain clinical research and scientific research. That's exactly how he spoke to you, Mark.
Yeah. And so as you said, it took us, I don't know, 9 months plus before sort of the timing worked out. And I started working with him back in November, December last year, I guess. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So it's been
9 long.
Yeah, it's been
months.
A wild ride, man. Yeah.
But hey, everything takes 9 months to become born, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
Let's thank you.